There's a difference between finishing a journal and filling it. One looks complete and the other feels alive. I'm Ingrid Carlsen, and I am so glad that you're here for part 2 of our file folder journal that we are going to decorate together. I hope that this inspires you and you have fun and you create one of your very own. And I have a free printable for you today, including this adorable little whale and some beautiful Bible verses. To get yours, just click down in the description below and click on the link. I want to start off with an apology. I had told you that I'd be posting the next day, which would have been yesterday, but I didn't think you guys were going to be online, and I was sadly mistaken. So today, it's a day late, but here we are. I wanted to show you how I finished off the base of the file folder journal and how one side is predominantly blue and the other side is predominantly red. But when the pages get flipped, you're going to see that they go really well, but I love the cohesiveness of having each side be a specific color. The other thing that I did was at the gussets, or where the file folder had the folds, I added some fabric and I think it came out so adorable. I'm going to add some fabric on top of it, and then I'm going to sew it all down, including each page individually. So I have two options here. My original bobbin thread is white, but I also have this blue, and I thought that would be nice. The only thing is that my bobbin is only about 25% filled, so I might run out. So I'm going back and forth if that's a decision I want to make, where half of this might be white and half might be blue. I think because it's going to close, it'll be okay. So I'm going to go for it. I wanted to show you this part because my machine started skipping and the bobbin got messed up. I think it was because the paper might have been too thick. And so I wanted to show it to you because it looks awful and definitely not neat at all. But I'm going to keep it, and when you see the end result of the journal, you don't even notice it's there, and I think it kind of adds to the charm. Okay, good news and bad news. I did not run out of the blue bobbin, so that was good news. I did have some pieces that you caught probably in the filming, and then when I was sewing this extra piece that is here, it tore off, and so I was thinking about adding a hinge. There was a piece of fabric over by my sewing machine that I used the other day, this blue, and I thought I could add a hinge to the bottom of this, but since I was originally going to put this as a pocket, I think that I'll just skip that and leave it as a pocket and glue it down. So this is what we have so far, and I absolutely love this piece right here. I love the stitching on it. I think it came out super cute. It kind of, emulates those folds that we have going on here. And then even though we don't have those folds, because we had scored the file folder, it does give us kind of a more pliable spine here. And you can add a little notebook here. And so you can bind something here, but you don't need to. I'm going to show you how to do it without any binding at all. If you were to ask me right now, what is the main way to add texture to a junk journal, I would have to say that it is fabric or stitching. In this case, we're talking about stitching, and you can see how much more interest the base pages look just by adding some stitches. And if you don't have a sewing machine, this is not the end of the road for you. You could still hand stitch like we've done in previous videos, or you can even take a pen and make some faux stitching. No one's going to know. It's going to look beautiful, and it's going to add that texture that you're looking for. It's in my to-do list to do a video about printables and what they are, how to organize them, all those things. And if that's something that you would like to watch, then let me know down in the comments. But one of my tips is when you have your printables, cut them out. Cut all of the pieces out, especially if you're working on a project with them, because when you can see them out in front of you, you're more apt to use them instead of them being on a page. Now, if you've seen my ephemera book, and if you haven't, I'll link it down in the description below, but it will change your life if you make one. But if you have one of those, then go ahead and add your cut out ephemera to your book, because it's the same thing. Once you have it there, you're more apt to use it, and I really do think it's a game changer. A lot of times I'm able to build pages quickly because I have all my pieces already there waiting for me. I don't have to stop and think about what I want to put in. That's also another reason I absolutely fell in love with digitals and digital kits specifically that have everything you need all in one place, and you don't have to go searching for something. It's a really easy way to make a full project. And speaking of kits, here are the sketches that I did for you guys. And so these are all of the pages you're getting. It's 3 different designs in that really pretty blue and red, as well as the Bible verses. I have printed mine on 110-pound cardstock, and I also, to give them a more distressed look, printed it on draft mode. So that means it's using less ink. It's going to print a lot faster. It's not going to really show all of the details, but I love doing this sometimes, especially when I want to give something a very vintage feel. One of the main reasons, and I'm going to give you a few throughout this video, that I love to add texture and layers and lots of ephemera is because the base gives you the page, but it's the decorating that gives those pages meaning. Every pocket, every label, every tag now becomes part of the narrative. And that's how your journal stops being just a blank slate and starts feeling like a memory book or a storybook. And the best part is you don't even need to know the whole story yet. It can start revealing as you're going. And I think that is one of the funnest parts. Texture changes everything. It makes a page feel like it has depth, not just visually, but emotionally. And I think that that's where adding things like fabric, swatches, stitch lines, stitching, layered papers, and especially distressed edges comes into play. The texture, I feel, is what makes people pause when they're watching a flip through. It makes them want to touch the pages. It makes them want to know more about what this journal is about. And I will forever shout it from the rooftops, because the first thing that drew my attention to junk journals were flip ups. And so I love all things that are interactive, whether it's a tuck spot, a flip out, a pocket, envelopes, file folders. They make my heart happy. I love the little surprises that you can tuck inside of them, the little notes that it's not just a boring flat page, but it's giving it a different design element that makes you want to explore. I also think this is what shifts a journal from being a notebook to a real keepsake. You can build a base, but when you decorate with intention, it becomes something that either you want to keep forever or you want to share it with someone that you love and in hopes that they will keep it forever. It's not about paper and glue. It's about a place where your stories live. And when you flip through a journal months later, years later, it's the little details that you're going to remember. It's when you start flipping through and seeing the extra distressing or the little touches that maybe aren't seen at first glance. That is where your story starts to shine. As the journal comes together, you start to feel it. That sense that each new page is becoming more alive. The tabs, the stitching, the tags, the layered labels, they add rhythm and reward. And it becomes sometimes hard to stop working on it. And it's kind of a juggle whether you're adding too much ephemera or not enough ephemera, because every piece starts becoming easier. As you're working, you start evolving with new ideas and you have this anticipation of all of the things that you can add and all of the different ways that you can design your journal. And that's where I say, don't stop. There's never too much ephemera, no matter what anyone tells you. Unless you're a minimalist and you like little bits of ephemera, then I say, definitely stick with that. But what it is that makes you happy, then add it. So if it is busting at the seams with lots of layering and lots of stitching and just a lot of textural elements, then go with it. Don't look at someone else's stuff and say that, well, they didn't add 20 pieces to their page. It's okay because it's your page and it's your story that you're telling. And if you ever get to the point where you've kind of lost momentum and you're in the middle of building a journal, but you don't have that perfect mood or you just can't think of anything, I would encourage you to just stop, put it away, go watch a YouTube video, listen to a podcast, watch your favorite show, whatever it is, take a break, give your eyes a rest and come back with brand new eyes. And I promise you're going to see the possibilities just unfold right in front of you. I also wanted to say that I had mentioned little mini file folders and we made these on Patreon and I never did decorate on them. So all I'm doing is building them up with some of the paper in the backgrounds and I'm making a little booklet that I'm going to tuck in one of the pockets. And I think it ended up being one of my favorite pieces. It was unexpected, unplanned. And I've said this before, those are my favorite things. And all of the projects that I've made, the ones that had the least amount of planning have always been my favorite. And my friend, this is my favorite part of the video, and I want to remind you today that you are held by mighty hands. You are stronger than the waves that you face, and you are never alone in the storm. You are loved unconditionally and deeper than I could even put into words. And you are special and you matter. And of course, you are beautiful. And I'd love to know what your favorite page from this journal is. I'd also love to know if you are making one of these journals alongside me, if you've already decorated it, or if you're decorating with me. And if you share them on social media, feel free to tag me and I'll share you in my stories. I love seeing your projects. And it's hard to believe looking back on this now that this was a simple file folder, that there was no binding, no special tools needed, that we built this whole journal using one kit, one file folder, some glue, some scissors, and maybe a little bit of fabric and twine. And I really think that it came out so nice. I'm so happy that you have stuck it out through up to this point with me, and I just want to thank you for watching. I want to thank you for all of your love and support. It really does mean the world to me, and I honestly just thank you from the bottom of my heart. I don't even have the words to say, but I appreciate you more than you'll ever know. And I do want you to know that I've read all of your comments. I'm just trying to balance filming, editing, and replying to comments, but I will get through it. It will just take me a little bit of time. So if you could give me a little grace with that. But until next time, love you. Bye.